Hi, I'm Renee Rouleau, owner of Renee Rouleau Skincare Spas in Dallas, Texas, and the creator of my own skincare line based on 9 unique skin types. So today I'm going to be talking about my advanced resurfacing serum. This is my first product containing the active ingredient retinol, and it's really exciting that it's finally launching because it's been a long time in the works. So before I tell you about how amazing this product is and all the wonderful things it's going to do to change your skin, I want to tell you a little bit about the backstory of how this product came to be. I worked at a full-service salon doing facials and skin treatments, and one of the clients there was a gentleman by the name of Dr. Thomas Fitzpatrick. At the time, I was living up in Boston, and he was the chief of dermatology at Mass General Hospital. So he was a client, and every time he used to come in, I would talk to him. And one of the things that he showed to me was his hands. He said, "Renee, look at my hands." And he held his hands up, and he said, "Do you see a difference?" And I looked at his hands, and I could see that one hand was significantly younger looking than the other. So what had happened was, during the course of his dermatology career, he used to suggest the prescription treatment cream Retin-A for his acne patients because since the early 70s it's been FDA approved for acne. And the key with Retin-A back then, and still is the case now, is you have to use it very sparingly because it makes the skin really dry and irritated and you peel and flake and all of that. So he would say to his patients, okay, listen, I want you to use this acne cream, but the key is you have to use it really sparingly. Let me show you how to use it. And he would take this tube of cream and he would put a small amount on the back of his hand. He'd say, I only want you to use this amount. And he'd put a small amount on there and he'd rub it onto the back of his hand. And he'd say, you're gonna rub it in and then go to bed. And unbeknownst to him, when he was treating his hand day in and day out, showing his acne patients how to use it, he was actually reversing the sign of aging on his hands. Over the course of time, he was looking at his hands and noticed that one hand was younger looking, brown spots were less, wrinkles were less, and come to find out he was instrumental in getting the FDA to approve Retin-A as an anti-wrinkle treatment in the early 90s. To this day, Retin-A is still the only FDA-approved anti-wrinkle treatment on the market. So I saw with my very own eyes how Retin-A could literally change the skin, reverse aging, literally turn back the clock. In the early 90s, word got out that Retin-A was an anti-wrinkle product, and so everybody was racing to the dermatologist's office to go get a prescription. And I remember it so clearly. This was 1991 when word was getting out. It wasn't FDA approved until 1995, but in the 91, 92 is when reports were coming out that this was really this miracle product. So everybody ran to the dermatologist's office, got a prescription for it, started using it, and back then there wasn't as much awareness as how to use it to prevent the harsh side effects that it created. So everybody was slathering this on their face, and soon enough they would experience the harsh side effects of the dryness, the peeling, the flaking. Well, as an esthetician, all these clients were calling me, and so they were calling on Renee, I need to get in, my skin is so dry, I'm using this new product. And so I saw, I was busier than ever treating all these clients, for calming, to calm their skin and to get moisture back in their skin, and people really had a hard time with it because the side effects were so harsh. And I remember one client in particular, she came in to see me and she said, oh, my skin is so dry and it's flaking, it's peeling, and she smiled, and this line right here, the nasolabial fold, actually cracked and bled. I mean, I literally saw that with my very own eyes. I mean, it really, the side effects are harsh. That's just a fact. So what happened was everybody went off of it. They said, forget it. I can't put up with these harsh side effects anymore. I'm going to go back to whatever I was doing. Well, the few people that did stay on it, and I had clients that did stay on it, if you stayed on it long enough, after about 6 months, the side effects would start to go away. So the ones that did stay on it, their skin literally looked younger every day, and it really did turn back the clock. So I also saw, not only on Dr. Fitzpatrick's hands, but as well as my clients, that it really did change and reduce wrinkles and brown spots and resurface the texture of the skin, and it truly was incredible. So throughout the years, I wasn't necessarily promoting Retin-A to my clients because it really is a commitment to use, and even though I could give advice on how to use it the right way to help minimize the side effects, but I wasn't really promoting it because it really is a commitment. And so when I turned 35, I decided that I wanted to try to use it for myself. I started to see the signs of aging setting in and felt like it was a good age for me to start using it, both to treat the wrinkles I was starting to get as well as prevent aging as well. So shortly after I started using it, I too experienced the side effects. But one thing that happened with me is I used to get, when I used it, the few times I used it, I used to get eczema that would come out on my eyelids. And even though it never touched my eyes, wherever you put Retin-A, it actually treats the entire area. So in this case, I would use it on my face, but it was treating my eye area as well, and it was damaging the lipid barrier and causing this reaction. And so I could never use it. Well, one of the things I noticed was the few times I did use Retin-A was after I put it on at night, when I woke up in the morning, I would feel like a pulsating sensation in my skin, almost like a little heartbeat. And I always thought, oh, it's really working, it's really doing something. But I couldn't use it because it was just too harsh for my skin. So years later, technology was evolving, and there was over-the-counter retinol products that were starting to come out, and I too wanted to jump on this bandwagon because I knew how powerful this type of ingredient could be. And I never really felt like the technology was there. The problem with retinol, and still to this day, is that it's a very unstable ingredient, and so light, air, and ingredients also used along with the formula can all break it down and make it not work as effectively. So I had experimented with different formulas through the years, but never really felt like it could really mimic the prescription, or at least just yet. So a year ago, I decided to try again because I knew that the technology was advancing. So I worked in my lab with my chemist to come out with a formula. I got my lab samples and I started using it. And I put it on one night, and I woke up the next morning, and lo and behold, I had that pulsating sensation in my skin, that heartbeat, that little beat in my skin that I remembered I had gotten when I had used the Retin-A, and that's when I knew, wow, this is it. This is really like the Retin-A. I really felt like it could mimic what the Retin-A was doing because of this pulsating sensation that I had experienced. So I've been using it for a year. I absolutely love it, and it really has changed the appearance of my skin a lot. Mainly what I'm noticing in my skin, I don't have a lot of aging because I've really been careful about staying out of the sun. My biggest thing is I wanted to help smooth the texture of the skin, particularly reduce the size of my pores. So I don't have a lot of brown spots. I have some, and it's helped a lot. I don't have a lot of deep lines and a lot of sun damage, but for me, the biggest improvement is how much smaller my pores are now, and I love that because pores actually get larger as you get older, or I should say they're not necessarily getting larger, but they get more noticeable as you get older due to loss of tone in the skin. And so I just love it because I feel like my skin looks smoother than it's ever been, which is really exciting. So let me tell you how Rouleau Advanced Resurfacing Serum differs from other retinol products out on the market. It has a time-released formula, and it engages your retinol receptors over the course of 8 hours instead of all at once. So this means less irritation, no redness, no peeling, so it makes it really compatible for sensitive skin types. It uses 0.4% pure retinol, and it's microencapsulated, which means it stays stable and effective throughout the entire bottle. It's a lightweight gel formula, which means it absorbs quickly and easily so it can get to work faster. It's also non-pore clogging, so if you're somebody who's prone to some clogged pores, you won't have a problem with it. It uses soothing ingredients like mugwort and licorice extract, so sensitive skin stays calm. Since I've been using it, my eczema on my eyelids hasn't come out at all. My skin hasn't been irritated. I've just gotten the results, which is the most important thing. Let me tell you about the benefits of Advanced Resurfacing Serum. It lifts brown spots and discoloration, which I know is a huge concern for a lot of people. It reduces the look of large pores. As I said, that's really what I've noticed most on my skin, is how much smaller my pores look. It repairs wrinkles and sun damage. As I said before, it turns back the clock. It really does. It builds skin firming collagen, so it helps to bring that plumpness back to the skin. It's a non-irritating formula, so it's great for sensitive skin types. Bottom line, you'll get smoother, younger looking skin each day. If you're serious about wanting to change the look and feel of your skin's texture, I highly recommend you try Rouleau Advanced Resurfacing Serum. But let me say this. This is a product you need to commit to using regularly, meaning you don't want to just use it whenever you remember. When you run out, you don't want to delay before you order another bottle. You really want to be treating your skin with this at least 5 days a week, and that's how you'll really get the results. But if you commit to using it regularly, you'll start seeing changes in your skin. People will start complimenting you on your skin, and the best part is there's no side effects that go along with it, but you'll still get the results. So, do I think Advanced Resurfacing Serum is a miracle in a bottle? Yes, I do, and I think you'll think so too. Go to reneerouleau.com for more information.